Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice Rita, and if you are new here, you are welcome, and I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you find it very helpful, please click the subscribe button for more content like this, and also please give it a thumb up and leave your comment and suggestion in the comment section. So today I'll be showing you how to use ImagJ to count objects. The microscope image I've opened before you, it's showing a GFP expression that is localized to some punctate object, and we are going to be estimating using ImagJ to count the number of objects that is in our cells. So in order for us to be able to proceed with our processing, I'll first duplicate one of these images so that we'll use it for the analysis, and we can have the image. I can show you the before and after of the image, and we can see if ImagJ had actually given us the right number of objects that is in our image. So I'm going to have duplicated this image, and you can see that this image is in RGB format. The first step of our processing would be to convert this RGB image to 8-bit image. In order for us to convert to 8-bit image, you go to Image, type, and select 8-bit. Selection of 8-bit, change the colored image from its colored format to a grayscaled image. And the next thing for us to now do is to threshold this image. When we threshold this image, the gray object will be amplified into a brighter puncture that will be white. And to do that, we'll go to Image, Adjust, and we'll select Threshold. You can see that immediately we selected Threshold, every grayed object became brighter, that is, it turned to white. You can choose to work with a different background, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be sticking to a black and white image. If you try using the thresholding option and it's not giving you a good object, you can try the other types of thresholding that is available in ImagJ. There are about 9 different types of thresholding here, and in some of my previous analysis, when I'm analyzing my data, I've used this fan circle threshold, which gave me a better thresholding option. So if you have problem with the thresholding, try them out. You can see that will give you, see, it added extra noise to the 9 different type. Some added extra noise. This is the one I've used in my previous study, because you can see it's almost exactly like what we have in our actual image. That's why I prefer this particular one over the rest of the ones that had extra noise. You can see this has eliminated some object. You can see this object that was here is no longer present in this number 7. Yeah, that's number 5. And if you check the number 9, you can see that the object is still there. That's why I personally preferred the fan circle threshold. Okay, so we'll be using the regular thresholding. And after you've threshold your image, the next thing to do is to make this object into binary. And for us to convert a black and white image now to a binary image, we have to go to Process, Binary, Make Binary. And if you want to continue working with a black background, you click OK. If you want you to change the image from being if you want to then have a white background and a black object, you can untick these box. Now what I'm going to do is to mask this image, because if you look at this object here, it's already like 2 objects are being connected, and it would be nice for us to separate them. You You can see it's about 3 different objects, but imageJ has clicked them together into 2. So what we will do is to go to imageJ, process, binary. First we'll convert it to a mask. That way we have a white background. And now we are going to apply watershed. And watershed, you can do that by going to process, binary, watershed. This watershed will make a straight line in between objects that imageJ believes to be 2 or 3 that are then being linked together. So when we click watershed, you can see that imageJ believes that this object here, that they were 2. It split them into 2. Here, it has split this one that was also here into 2. And with this, we can then analyze a particle. In order for us to analyze a particle, all we have to do is to go to analyze particle. And I'll be checking the summarize option because that will give us the total count. And because this image does not have it's not close to the outline, we'll leave it that it should exclude edges. That's if there are anything by the edges that's maybe sometimes some noisy image. Then we just ask it to okay. So imageJ has detected 118 objects in this cell, and is giving us that the total area of this image, it's 1919. And if you notice here that the object has been marked with a cyan color, and also it has number. So if you want to know the area of this particular object that is numbered 38, you can then go to the actual result, and you can see that number 38 has an area of 27. If you compare 39, which is a smaller object beside 38, you can see that it just had an area of 4. So this is an interesting way to count your objects. If you don't need the other value here, you can just disregard this and just make do with the total count. But it's always good to save this or other objects because you don't have to then repeat the analysis. So using the regular thresholding has given us 118 objects. So what happened if I use my favorite thresholding option that I told you earlier? I'm going to be duplicating this image again and repeating this process. I'll be very quick. I will just go to type 8-bit threshold. So I'm going to choose the one I usually use for my analysis, which is this, and just click OK. You can see that it's similar to what we had earlier. And now I'm going to make binary, convert to mask, and now I'm going to add a watershed. You can see that this object that is here, I'm going to apply watershed. So it also splits that into 2. Same thing here. Anyway, let's measure now and see if it gives us the exact same number. You can see that with the second one, I got more counts using the one I told you I like using for my analysis. And that's because if we put the 2 beside each other now, you can see that with the regular thresholding, an object is missing here beside this big object. With the second type of thresholding that I just used, you can see that the object here is there. If you look at the actual image, you can see that there seems to be, there seems to be an object here that is not as bright as the big object. So this is the regular thresholding, just applying the regular one. Also, you can, if you look closely here, you have these 2 that are close to each other. These 2. With this regular one, only the the one that is brighter in pixel is what it has counted as. Ignore the second one. And if you look at the Farcasol thresholding, that's fainted object was detected in my analysis, and that's one of the reasons why I've gotten more counts than with the regular threshold or a function. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and if you need help doing your analysis in any way, please do not hesitate to write in the comment section and I will get back to you. And until next time, thank you for watching and bye for now.